Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So what are we popping open today?
Ooh, we are popping open a bottle of black pepper. I really like this one. It smells exactly like the herb seasoning. What would you?
It's a spice.
Spice. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Yes, it smells exactly like the spice. It's delicious. I love black pepper. I will very easily do the taste test for this one. I know you won't because you do not love black pepper the way I do.
Yeah, what's funny is I do like it more as I have grown up, but as a kid, I was very sensitive and it would make my airways close. Thankfully, I don't have that anymore, but just opening it, like not even holding it close to me, it's a strong smell. Like I can smell it from here.
I have to get a little bit closer because, again, I like it and I like strong pepper in my stuff. Mm-hmm. So this is only in the 5 ml bottle, but they were still able to squeeze that little supplements facts box on there to let you know that you can take this internally. I don't know if I would. Oh, you know what? You can apply this topically because it's good for digestive stuff. I guess normally you would use that internally, but maybe if this was all you had, you could kind of dilute it and apply it to the stomach. Also warming. So using it for massage purposes and being able to dilute it and rub it on an area. I read that in the winter, it was good for like warming up feet or hands or whatever are cold. So we live in Texas. Yes, it does get cold here, but not often enough that I think, let me go get my black pepper.
For like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, for sure, and you said this, but I just want to highlight this, is you do want to dilute this one. It is a hot oil and it's super high in antioxidants. And apparently because of that, the older the oil is, the more sensitive it can become for your skin.
Oh, good tip. Did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing that I think of when I hear about black pepper, and this is because I know people who have used it for this, is it is really good at overcoming addictions. And the one that I know people have used it for is actually smoking, which is so random. Like you wouldn't think that black pepper would be useful for that, but apparently it definitely helps. And what you do is you put a drop under the tongue or inhale it or diffuse it. So I guess anytime you have that craving, doing one of those actions can help kind of rewire yourself to where you're not having the craving anymore.
And the bottle's small enough that you could easily carry this in your pocket and take it out if you felt like you were having a craving or something and just kind of run it under your nose or put it to the roof of your mouth like I just did too. I mean, it just feels very simple to kind of have on hand. You know, they also make those little inhalers. It's got like a little wick inside. I don't think I have one.
I think they're called sniffers.
Yeah, and it's just a little plastic thing with holes at the top, and you put the oil directly onto the little wick inside it so that you can just kind of smell it directly from that. That would be very discreet as well.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. I don't know if they're all this way, but Heather and I have a friend who made me one probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it still smells. And it smells lovely. It's I think it's lemon, lavender, peppermint. So it's for like opening up all of your sinuses and so good. And I'm always amazed. I have not had to like add oil to that either.
Yeah.
So researching for this podcast, I read up on black pepper specifically, not necessarily the oil, but just the spice. And I thought this was interesting. So there is recorded evidence of it being used all the way back in 2000 BC. But also the oldest recorded or the oldest cookbook has 80% of the recipes call for black pepper. So this was definitely used heavily at some point. And I think it's still used heavily, but I think it's kind of like we just have it on our tables and people use it. I don't even know that I see it that often in recipes anymore. Maybe I do, and I just glance over recipes.
I feel like I do. I feel like most meat recipes, it'll be sprinkled with salt and pepper as desired and then grill or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I love black pepper. I think when we talk about recipes and we talk about the whole toothpick method of making sure you don't overpower a recipe with the essential oil, black pepper, I can put a drop in. Lemon, I can put a drop in. Plus, like I feel like there's certain oils that they don't overpower it for me. But for you, that could be different. So I think starting with the toothpick is probably good. You know, if you are out of black pepper and you need to use the oil, great. But this is one that I can put the full drop in and think it's delicious.
I love that for you.
Thank you. This is not one that I use in the diffuser very often. You talked about being able to diffuse it if you were trying to quit smoking or something like that. I found a really fun recipe, though, that I feel like this combination would be really good. It's simply called Simplicity, and it's 5 drops of black pepper and 2 drops of peppermint. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like that would literally just be simple, but yet a strong smell from both of them. So I think I will try that later.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I think that would go well together too. Well, very cool. Anything else in the soil?
I like it. Obviously, opinions differ depending on, you know, if you're sensitive to something or not. Yeah. But I think this is an easy kitchen oil. And then I think, you know, obviously it has many, many other uses. So this is an easy one to make sure you have stock of.
Yeah. And I will say again, like, I don't dislike this one. I just don't use it. So, yeah. But maybe at some point I will need it, and I'll be so grateful I have it at that point. So
when you have those cold wind hands in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We'll have a brand new episode for you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.